Hey guys, so one of the last things on the list of weapons to look at is the Raid Sniper. Now when I got this thing to drop, I thought that it might be the best PvE legendary sniper in the game in terms of pure damage output. So let's go test that hypothesis. We have a ton of data on sniper rifles already, including damage numbers, so let's hop into the Raid. My sniper is 390 in this clip. Without weapons of light, we're hitting for 21,258 damage per shot. I'm comfortably able to get off about 12 to 13 shots, but it is quite possible to get in up to 15 shots if you're a very good shooter and you're maybe willing to spend an extra second or two after the density event triggers to finish up your magazine. Unfortunately, this gives us a pretty wide variance of damage, ranging from 255,000 damage if you hit 12 crits, to 318,000 if you hit 15. Fortunately, it still beats every other sniper tested, even giving Black Spindle a run for its money. It is 6 light higher than a lot of the other snipers that we tested, but even accounting for that, the Machina sniper wins, although versus Black Spindle, it's very close. The main benefit of Machina is that it doesn't need any extra bells and whistles in order to compete. This shouldn't come as much of a surprise. Not only does this weapon reload very quickly with spray and play, but it is a super high impact sniper that can reload with 4 shots, which is not typical. Normally it's 3. Something to keep in mind though, as we continue with this next set of tests, is that the Raid weapons deal 10% more damage to Fallen. So what might be great in the Raid is 10% less great against non-Fallen targets. Now let's check out some snipers with bonuses. Triple Tap, Casket Mag, and Spray and Play, along with Glove reload speed bonuses, can enhance your sniper's ability to do damage simply by providing more uptime. The more time you spend shooting, the more damage you're able to deal. Simple stuff. Not only that, but there's also the Disciplinarian bonus that lets you deal more damage to Fallen in place of Casket Mag, which is equal to the bonus that the Raid weapons get. So, is there any combination of perks that would allow a sniper to be better than the Raid sniper in the Raid? Trying to test all of these perks in the real world is very time consuming. I appreciate all the messages that I got from people saying that I could use their accounts for testing, but it's not something I'm really comfortable with. Plus, to do all of those tests would take a really long time to do. What we can do is simulate the tests pretty easily and come to a somewhat reasonable result. However, I must clarify, these are simulations of possibilities. I don't doubt their accuracy since simulating snipers is much easier than other weapons, but still, it's a simulation. Casket Mag simply increases the size of your magazine. Triple Tap does basically the same thing. If you hit 3 snipes in a row, it'll give you another shot. For the purposes of this simulation, we'll be using a 394,000 yard stare for the damage and rate of fire, and we'll be comparing it to a 395 Ex Machina sniper rifle. Simply put, Casket Mag or Triple Tap will give you 1 extra shot before you need to reload, while having both of them will give you up to a potential 7 shots before having to reload. I know that the but not forgotten sniper rifle has 1 more impact than the 1,000 yard or Arene or whatever, but I don't think it'll be hugely important for the sake of the test. To simulate a test for this, I simply fired my 1,000 yard as fast as I could, reloaded, then started shooting again. So this simulation will assume that you are 100% perfect and you're firing as fast as possible. To simulate for Triple Tap, I just added a shot at the beginning to match the rate of fire of the weapon so that I would fire 5 shots before reloading. To simulate for Triple Tap and Casket Mag, I added 3 shots at the beginning of each magazine. Then I lined up some other Vosik footage on top of the 1,000 yard shots, with both of the timers starting right as the first shot would hit from both weapons and lasting until the density event started. So in the Triple Tap or Casket Mag simulation, we were comfortably able to get off 15 shots, but only firing at the fastest rate of fire possible. I'll talk about this again in a minute. 15 shots is the most amount of ammo you can hold with a sniper if you aren't using any ammo bonuses, which matters more for Casket Mag. The damage value for a crit with a 394,000 yard against heroic Vosik with weapons of light is 22,477. That multiplied by 15 is 337,155. The damage value for a crit with a 395 Ex Machina raid sniper against heroic Vosik with Weapons of Light is 29,702, and we were able to determine that you could comfortably get about 13 shots in with that, but going up to as high as 15 if you stayed around. Let's say 12 shots will be super comfortable. 29,702 times 12 is 356,424. So in that test, the raid sniper still wins. If you're able to fire more than 12 shots with the raid sniper, then you'll be doing even better than a triple tap or a casket mag 1,000-yard stare. And you need to keep in mind that the 1,000-yard simulation test assumes perfection not only in terms of hitting crits, but shooting the weapon literally as fast as it can fire. You do need to line up your shots, and so I don't know how reasonable that 15 actually is. It feels like it should be more like 13 or 14, which means even better news for the raid sniper. So how about both bonuses? Now we're at triple tap and casket mag. With this configuration, you'll be able to fire 18 shots within the time limit if you are firing as fast as humanly possible. Your 18th shot will be landing around the time the boss triggers the event. Not only do you need to do that, but you need to hit every single crit for your triple tap bonus. So 22,477 times 18 shots now gives us 404,586 damage with Weapons of Light. Pretty good. For the raid sniper to beat that, you would need to hit 14 shots with the raid sniper, but we've already said that this is quite possible to do in actual practice, although you'll have to stay for an extra second or two. If you somehow have the trifecta of bonuses, where you have spray and play as well, or if you have a reload speed bonus on your gloves, and you're rolling with double sniper ammo bonuses, and you're hitting every single crit as fast as you can humanly fire the weapon, then you can pop off even more than 18 shots, since triple tap doesn't take from your reserve and actually just gives you a free bullet. And this is where I think the 1,000-yard would eventually overtake the raid sniper, at least in the Vosik encounter. So basically, if you're a robot and you're able to be perfect with some crazy shooting and you have all those things I just listed, then it'll be better. Let's talk some variables for Vosik. The main variable here is the user and user error. I said with Black Spindle that the biggest problem you'll run into is the fact that the boss is staggering a lot. Sometimes the boss gets turned. Sometimes you won't be able to fire as fast as humanly possible. Sometimes you miss a shot. Things will happen that will cause you to mess up. So while Black Spindle, Ex Machina, and a very well-rolled 1,000-yard are all capable of a lot of damage, they are higher risk compared to something like, say, an Outbreak Prime or even Sleeper Simulant. Alright, so what about Aksis? We haven't talked about Aksis at all. Well, none of the snipers are gonna dethrone Dark Drinker, so it almost feels pointless to talk about. In a sniper versus sniper setting, the super well-rolled 1,000-yard starts to catch up to the raid sniper, since the raid sniper no longer deals bonus damage because Aksis isn't technically a fallen, although it deals bonus damage to all other enemies in the encounter. So if you did have the triple tap casket mag spray and play miracle sniper, that's what I'm going to call it for the rest of this video by the way, then I would probably use that over the raid sniper for Aksis if you were opting for a sniper. By the way, the reason I'm not comparing to previous tests right now is because of the light level differences, but I have a tough time imagining either the 1,000-yard or the Ex Machina beating something like Black Spindle for a third teleport damage cycle, but assuming perfection for a third teleport damage cycle, they would probably match up close with Raise Lighter and Sleeper Simulant. The main problem with Aksis is just the randomness of the fight. Sometimes you're the empowered person all 3 times. Sometimes you're never the empowered person. One sniper might be better for a short-term engagement, while another might be better for a long-term engagement. Maybe you're using the cannon, which is the best weapon, period. A lot of the time, you're just trying to get in whatever damage you can possibly get in before having to possibly move around. I think the miracle rolled 1,000-yard is probably going to be your best option if you have it and are really able to lay into the boss, but it really feels like a toss-up versus the Ex Machina. Even for the super mega elite PvE players, it really feels like a toss-up. In any non-raid setting, it is, once again, not really going to matter, much like all of the other weapons that I've tested. You do not need to be super optimized for heroic strikes or even the Nightfall, especially when those playlists will end up changing your loadouts depending on the strike and the modifiers involved. You can use either weapon and you will be totally fine. So for now, that's the deal with the Raid Sniper and perks like Triple Tap, Casket Mag, and whatnot. For Vosik, the Raid Sniper is going to be better than most snipers and is actually able to compete somewhat well with the likes of Sleeper Simulant, although follow-up tests with a 395 Sleeper Simulant still need to be done. If you manage to have the Miracle Sniper with double ammo bonuses and reload speed, that will overtake the Raid one at only the most optimal of performances, literally shooting non-stop all crits as fast as possible if you're a robot. It's hard to do that, but it's hard to hit all crits with any sniper. On Aksis, I would basically say the same thing. The Raid Sniper is among the best legendary snipers and really only gets outclassed by the Miracle Sniper, but it matters less here due to the randomness of the encounter. In Heroics, Nightfalls, and general PvE play, it doesn't really matter. If I were to sum up this video for 99.9% of players, it would be this. Just use the Raid Sniper in the raid if you're gonna snipe. There are still some weapons you guys would like to know about, stuff like No Time to Explain, Steel Medulla, even Touch of Malice, but I think this video is going to be the last video before I put out my general best loadout guide. It'll cover a lot of these tests into one video, with me just talking about the optimal loadout for boss damage, along with what I tend to use and what I think is most practical. Watch out for that video coming very soon. If you enjoyed this video, a positive rating would be pretty cool. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.